the kind you wear a tie. Button up from 9 to 5. I tried that life but said goodbye. I'm not always polite, but I get the job done. Who says that work can never be fun? I'm simply unprofessional. Simply unprofessional. Yeah. Unprofessional. Yeah. I'm unprofessional.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Simply Unprofessional. I am your host tonight, Rob. And with me tonight, I have B.
Hello.
And I have Anthony.
Hello.
And for the first time on SU, James.
Who? I think you should refer to James as how he's referred to in your household by Webby's mom.
What?
She just calls him new guy, right?
Yes.
Complains about him being on the couch all the time.
Yep.
Wait, hold up.
New
James James is living with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't
Hi,
know that.
Rob.
Hi, James.
Webby's gonna kill you both. He's asleep.
He'll just freaking out now.
Webby is literally.
Hi, Matilda.
I hope he listens back to this so he can hear me berating you both for doing that. Because
I know.
Webby's not very well, hence the reason why he's not joining us right now, and he's asleep.
What's funny is before when I was gonna ask James, B was like, "Do you want to just yell for him, or are you gonna message him?" I'm like, "I'll message him because I don't want to wake Webby up." And now I just yelled across the house.
I know, literally.
I can hear Webby just going.
So yes, we are sans Webby and sans Devin today. So B has a topic for us, which the topic itself promises to not be boring.
It says quite literally 200 questions to ask to get to know someone better, in parentheses, not boring. So therefore,
So there you
It
go,
shouldn't be.
audience.
in fact, the
Guaranteed
subtitle,
not boring.
yes, 100%. The subtitle says turn small talk into real talk. So here's the thing, right? It's guaranteed not boring, and that is the Distractions Media guarantee.
Yep.
Which is always on point, 100%, never letting anyone down.
Hey,
Ever.
Rob, you gotta contact your lawyers. We don't guarantee anything in SU. I'm pretty sure.
Wait,
We can say we
just
do, but the
consult
lawyers.
lawyers.
Yeah.
I'm holding up a
Question
sign.
1, the correct answer is 14 inches.
Oh, that's weird when I tell you question 1 then.
How tall are you?
Actually, question 1 was what type of music are you into? And I'm a little bit concerned
Oh.
what you're doing.
I thought it was going to be how big of a sandwich can you eat without feeling sick?
I'm more concerned about what you're sticking
Wait.
inside your CD cases.
Wait, really? 14 inches is all you can eat of a sandwich? For shame, James.
Wow. So anyway,
So
I'm
that's going
holding
in the
up-
title somewhere, though. The not boring.
yes, not totally not boring questions to live by. Listen, here's the thing. I'm holding up a sign with an asterisk on it. You can't see it, but I'm holding one. And therefore, you can't hold us accountable for anything that we say. And I'm
Our
definitely
listeners
trying to
well
do-
know we have lots of visual cues on this audio podcast.
Yes. It's really helpful, isn't it, when they can't see it?
Mhm.
I will say, anytime when I listen to some of the SU podcasts and you guys do that, I get so annoyed.
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, I don't blame you. I listened back to an episode of my podcast that I was away on vacation, and so they recorded a podcast episode for me while I was gone and talked about there was a part in it where they talked about something. Two of them didn't know what it was, and they sent and showed the other person. And I'm sat there editing it, thinking I have no idea what you're talking about, and of course,
Yeah.
none of the audience will either.
So I always hear like Devin and Webby and Rob like sending each other like pictures in Discord. I'm like, dude, I can't see it. I don't understand what's going on.
Yep. It's tradition now.
It's amazing. So I'll skip the first question since obviously we know it now and there's not much point because the answer's 14 inches. So second question, what type of music are you into? It's not boring, guys. It's not boring.
Not boring.
Well, I'll go first, I guess. I'm mostly into pop songs and Disney musicals.
I mean, we're best friends. Like we might as well be because we are the same when it comes to music. So that's it. That's how you do this, guys. You answer the question, not boring, and what happens
Yep.
is you then end up best friends with somebody if you have the same answer.
Yep.
So the only caveat is that I listen to my Disney music in Spanish.
No se habla de Bruno. No, no, no.
Well, I
I've listened
listened
to it a
to
lot, can you tell?
Encanto, but in English. Does that count? It's a Spanish cartoon,
Well,
but
I guess I listen to it in Spanish, which is why James knows it because I've listened to it that many times. So
I've never seen
James,
that. I've never seen that movie.
it's
well, it's good.
wow, that's rude.
Yeah.
Come, all the SU listeners, boycott Anthony.
I'm okay with that.
But my answer to this question is I'm really into Megan Trainor at the moment.
I do like her new music. I can't lie, it's good. But she's pop, so it's not, fits pretty well into what me and Rob already said. So you kind of stole our answers, really.
I typically listen to anything that has a fast beat. So either electronic music, I'll do hip hop or
Darude
whatever.
Sandstorm?
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't remember. I never remember song names or artists. I just put on I typically will find a song I like and then download it and just replay it on repeat for months until I find another song.
So Darude Sandstorm is
I don't.
it's a
Wait, hold up.
meme.
Because that sounded familiar. That name sounded familiar, but
The point
I
of the
just
meme is that the song is just so ridiculous. I'll send it in the general chat for later. Because it's so ridiculous, everybody memed it for a few years back in the early 2010s. And so basically what the meme was is whenever somebody on a YouTube comment replied to a YouTube video, like a gaming video or something like that, saying what's the song you've used or what song is this or whatever, everybody would reply Darude Sandstorm. Even though it isn't and was not Darude Sandstorm, everybody would just reply Darude Sandstorm.
I know this song. I remember this
It's
is the
such a
20.
good song.
I'm okay. Yeah, I like this type of song. I typically go for EDM music, but mainly like I said, anything that's kind of fast paced. Because I normally listen to music when I'm working out, and I don't like slow songs to kind of bring me down.
Yeah. My favorite song is Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I listen to it every day.
My
Especially
favorite song is probably Dance Macabre by what is their name? Ghost.
Right.
I know that Webby likes Simon and Garfunkel.
Every time I listen to music with Webby, by the way, we've been listening to music a lot recently, when we go to sleep and stuff. And every single time I listen to music with him, he keeps trying to make me listen to fucking Smash Mouth. And I don't know why, but he gives me this whole spiel about it every time. He's like, "Can we listen to 90s pop success #1 single by Smash Mouth?" And it'll insert single here, or the one from Shrek, whatever that's called. He just makes me listen to
Star.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
It makes me listen to it all the time, and it's really annoying and infuriating.
You should force him to listen to Hollywood Undead.
Yeah.
The world is gonna roll me.
He really likes that song.
Not a fan.
In the shed.
One
He also
day,
likes
Rob-
country because every time I get in the car after he's used
God.
it, it's set to the country station.
I know
I'm
he
not-
likes
yeah.
country. He gets me to listen. He sends me song links and asks me to listen.
I'm not a fan of country. That was kind of the one genre that I'm just not a fan of.
I don't blame you. It's terrible. Well, no, actually, I do like some country music. I won't pretend. I do like some country music, just not all country music. There's some that I'd find really, really boring.
I guess the more poppier country, that's borderland just pop music is okay, but just flat
Like
out
Jesus
traditional.
Take the Wheel.
I
That's
don't
a
know
good song.
I don't know names, James. I don't know the names. You have to play it for me, then I can tell you.
It's
Damn.
literally the
Sing it.
main part of the song is Jesus Take the Wheel.
Oh, then probably not. I don't remember that.
I like the
Sing
one
it,
about the
James.
tornado.
Blown Away by Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, I think one day in the middle of a conversation with Webby, you should come up behind him and just start playing that All-Star song. So that, because it'll just make him so happy and it'll ruin my day. All right, so next question. What is your favorite way to spend a day off? This is a complicated question. We all are pretty much at home all the time. And we all either work from home or are at home. So I think the best way that I can describe my day off would be leaving my house.
Sleeping.
I like riding my bike, so like typically on Saturdays, but I can't because the last couple of weeks it's been raining. I just go for a very long bike ride.
Do you sing, I like to ride my bicycle, I like to ride my bike?
Is this that song immediately popped into my head when he said that?
He like speeds down the road listening to Rue Sandstorm.
You're not actually that far off. I just listen to really fast-paced electronic music and ride my bike by myself. So
Just imagine his legs going like he's like on cocaine, just like really fast. What would you like to do on a day off, James?
Read.
Who reads for fun? Like
I do.
I think
I
people
do.
who read for fun, we should be watching those people. I think we should be keeping an eye on those people.
Here's the thing. I don't have a lot of hobbies, so all I have is reading. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you had a perfect childhood, B, and didn't have to read to escape reality.
I just use TV.
Yeah, but there's nothing to watch
or
on TV.
YouTube.
Well, see, when I grew up,
yeah.
B, we had an antenna and got like 4 channels.
Oh,
Same.
well, you see, the thing is, I'm not ancient like all of you. So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
That is also true. I keep forgetting how young you are.
I wasn't
My-
allowed to have a TV or a computer in my room when I was a teenager. So the only thing I could do if I wanted to like watch YouTube or whatever, I'd have to go down to the family room. It's like, or watch TV like with the family.
Not
So
YouTube.
it's like,
You didn't have YouTube.
well, no, but like if I wanted to use the computer for entertainment or the TV,
And then
like,
he had to make sure nobody was talking on the phone in order to connect to the internet.
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
My mom and dad would be so mad because they would be like,
luckily my
"So-and-so has been
parents
trying
got a second phone line for the computer, so we were all right.
My parents were like, "Our aunt has been trying to call us all day. Why haven't you?" I'm like, "Oops." No, but my parents would drop me off like during summer. They would want me to go like work in their little grocery store, but I was a lazy asshole, so I didn't want to. So I was like, "Hey, can you just drop me off at the library for like 4 hours?" They're like, "Fine." So I just went there and read, and then they picked me up. Those were the good old days. Was that who do we lose?
I used to go. Whoever it was is back. It was probably James because.
It was me.
I also had a
Oh,
crush on the librarian. That's another reason why I liked going to the library a lot.
What was his name?
It was a she, but I don't know. I was let's see. I did this from age like 11 to 13. I think she was probably like mid-20s, but man, she was so pretty.
I think the only reason I asked that was because you're the only person in here who would be talking about being attracted to somebody and us all knowing it would be a woman.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, God, straight people. What's wrong with them?
Well, I mean, technically speaking, I am straight. I just am attracted to men. I know I sound like a man.
Can't claim straight. You have dated women.
Okay, I have dated women in the past.
I mean, I've dated women too.
But
these is just a few months ago.
Both of us realized that we didn't like it. James, you were married to a woman.
Yeah, but I didn't date a woman just a few months back.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just mean that she would be bi then?
It would, but the thing is right, it's very complicated because I have gone through like fluctuations in my life where I've never been sure if I'm attracted to women or not, where I've always been certain that I was attracted to men. Whereas now I am pretty much certain I am not attracted to women. And that's not any specific woman's fault. It's just I've always fluctuated in my life. I've always
going to say, oh God, this woman's going to watch this and be like, oh God, I turned her straight.
Oh Jesus. No, I guess I just realized, I'm not attracted to women. Because like the thing is I feel like I could probably survive in a romantic relationship with a woman, but I couldn't sleep with them. And so I think I would more likely, oh God, we're going deep here. Literally, I think I would more likely pursue a relationship with a male because I know that I can do both of those things with them, and therefore I won't be missing anything in my life.
Yep.
That's fair.
And so
I will say that even if you say it like that woman didn't turn you off, in her back of her mind, I know she'd be like, I must have done something.
Don't say that. If she listens to this,
I'm saying this as a person who, as a person who constantly thinks things are my fault. I would be like, I did something.
I'm sure my ex-wife thinks the same thing. My first relationship right after her was a man.
Yeah, but your ex-wife gave you reason to not like women ever again.
True.
Okay, so I go to the next question.
Oh, well, I mean, I said sleeping, but I mean, my typical day off would be sleeping late, playing video games or watching movies, and then hanging out with my pseudo boyfriend.
Oh God.
So what's different from your working day?
My working day, I would go to work. I just don't
His
have those
working day
anymore.
does not contain.
I'm talking
pseudo
about your
boyfriend.
current working day.
His current working day does not contain his pseudo boyfriend because he's.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason when you said pseudo boyfriend, I'm like, isn't Matilda a girl? And then I was like, wait a minute.
Matilda's not my girlfriend. She is
Ah!
an adult. She's my baby.
Well, I forgot that you live with Webby and James. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm not talking about Webby or James either.
Why do you think?
Okay,
why do you,
alright, I don't know what the hell's going on with any of your.
Anthony,
I don't.
why do you think James moved in?
As the only straight person, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut in this entire conversation. I'm not about to get canceled. Screw this.
James moved in because that's what couples do. He's Webby's boyfriend.
In the words of Bill Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh Jesus. It's me. Sorry. Next question. I had a moment that I was like, oh, hang on, I have to actually do that, don't I? Whoopsies. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite sex position? It's not. I'm kidding. Okay, next question is, what was the best vacation you ever took and why? Rob.
Oh, I have two answers to that. I would probably have to say I took a cruise with a bunch of my friends one time. We went to it was a Caribbean cruise, so we went to St. Michael's and we went to Cancun and stuff like that. It was really fun. Like it was really relaxing. Like they had this beach where there was nobody. We just hung out on hammocks and drinks from coconuts, and the ocean was so blue. It was amazing. And then the ship had a casino. It had a bunch of entertainment things you could do. It was really fun. The other one was my whole family. We took a trip around the U.S. to all the big attractions Mount Rushmore, Yosemite, Yellowstone, places like that. We went to all the big touristy attraction places. We took an RV and we took the whole summer and we drove around to a bunch of different places in the U.S. to check them out. I was a teenager at the time and didn't enjoy being crammed into a tiny little thing with my entire family. So that is why it is below the cruise, but otherwise it would have been on top.
I see. Okay. Anthony?
I went on a trip to London and Scotland and Ireland with some friends. That's probably because that was the only vacation I've gone with friends. Although normally I just go with family, and it's different when you go with family.
Right. James?
Mine's boring compared to everybody else's. Mine was a week-long trip down to Florida with marching band and getting to go to all the Disney parks.
You think yours is boring? I think that my favorite vacation is actually the one I just took on my own by myself to Amsterdam.
Yeah, but
no one else with me.
That's to Amsterdam.
You went to
Oh.
Amsterdam? I want to go to
Yeah.
I want to go to Amsterdam.
Well, I live near an airport that is a very small airport, and it's really easy to get there. Literally, it was a 45-minute flight, so I was like, "Let's go," and it was really cool. I went by myself, completely alone. I've not flown since I was 6 years old, so it was the first time flying really ever that I can remember, and my first time alone flying. But I really loved it, and I'm really glad that I did it.
And she did not partake in any of their specialties.
Yep. Before she left, I was like, wooden shoes and tulips and windmills. And she was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then
Wait a minute,
a couple days into her trip, she was like, there are fucking wooden shoes everywhere.
Yeah, because he was messaging me saying, "Oh yeah, get some wooden shoes, get some tulips, get whatever," and windmills, and I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about." I literally messaged him a day into being there. There's fucking wooden shoes everywhere, and
There's also
tulips
a
and
lot of
windmills.
bikes, right?
Oh, bikes everywhere. Literally, everybody
Yeah,
goes by bike
that's
everywhere.
another reason why I want to go to Amsterdam.
cool
I
thing
like
And
is,
there's
right?
apparently a lot of skunks too from the smell B kept talking about.
There was loads of obviously
yeah.
loads of cars, and the roads are very tight, and they all park really precariously. Like I don't know, next to where these like really awkward. I don't know how to describe it. Like they all park on the canals. Like you feel like the car would roll off as like a single metal bar that stops to avoid it from like if it somehow rolled, it wouldn't go into the water. It was really crazy. But like almost everybody was like driving electric cars and stuff, so they all had like electric chargers like next to the canals that they could charge their cars in when they go inside. Obviously, they all live in these like really high stacked up houses on like where there are multiple floors but really thin. I'm sure you've seen pictures of Amsterdam canals before. They're really thin houses but really tall, and like all the businesses are in the downstairs parts of those houses as well. You're like in the flats and stuff. There's only a few people who have like the full house nowadays. But it was really cool. And anybody who didn't drive went by bike, and there was bikes everywhere. And you could just go up there, scan the code. The same as happens in London too. There's bikes everywhere in London as well. You go over and scan the code with your phone. It literally opens up like the web browser or the app. Put your name in, put your like payment details in, and then you can take the bike. As long as you return it, you only get charged like the deposit or whatever. You don't get charged for like not returning it, if that makes sense. So you can either rent a bike or take your own bikes. Every hotel when you get there asks you if you want to rent a bike for your stay. It was crazy. I personally Ubered everywhere because I was nervous about riding a bike in a place I didn't know. But you could definitely go on a bike everywhere. Now that I've been there, I know that I probably will next time. I also walked a lot, really far as well, because there was one part of the trip where I had a bit of a while between I was going to the Anne Frank house and I was going to the Van Gogh Museum after, and I had a bit of a gap, and I thought, oh, I might as well walk instead so I can see some of the city. My legs were killing me at the end, but I did get to see a lot of like the city and stuff. It is really cool. Also, by the way, all my Uber drivers literally at some point like cared their car. Like the roads are so tight so that they were caring their cars constantly, and like everyone was honking at each other. They're all crazy drivers. I am convinced from my first experience being in a country that drives on the other side of the road that you are all maniacs.
Wait, Amsterdam drives on the same side that American does?
Almost all of Europe drives on the same side as you do.
Yeah,
Oh.
just the UK.
There's only like
weird.
11 countries in the whole world that drive on the left.
Oh, okay.
As soon as you go over like the Euro tunnel, the Channel tunnel in the UK to get to France, because you obviously can drive to France on the tunnel that goes under the water. As soon as you get there and come off of it, you have to drive on the right for like your entire European journey, and then switch back when you come back again. So obviously you'll be driving on the right side with a car that's meant for the left side of the road, so your wheel's in the wrong place.
That's not a boring answer at all, B. That sounds
Well,
like a
it
wonderful
got a bit detailed, didn't it? But yeah, no, it was really fun. I enjoyed. I'm glad I went on my own too, because I got when you go. I don't know about you guys. When you go on vacation by yourself, it's different to going with other people because you can do literally whatever you want. Nobody's like trying to drag you into a restaurant or take you to a certain place. There's nobody trying to get you to do certain things. It's just literally whatever you want to do.
I really want to do solo travel, but I'm too much of a coward to do it. I would love to solo travel. I probably will have to solo travel if I want to go to Amsterdam because I know no one in my family wants to go to Amsterdam. But one of these days I'll have the courage to do it.
I definitely would. If you ever want to go to Amsterdam, I think you would really enjoy it. I really did enjoy it. It was really great.
I just get anxious easily, and I'm very unsure of myself. So it's just
I 100% feel that. I was terrified. I mean, any one of my friends can tell you I literally was terrified the entire time. But it was worth it, and I'm glad I did it, even though I was literally shitting myself all the time.
Actually, wait. Yeah, funny. Kind of funny story. On that trip to London that I mentioned, I actually went one day earlier than my friends because they were going somewhere else. So I landed in London by myself, and I think I landed on the British Pride Day. So I was like walking around, and there was just so many like almost nude men all over the streets, and I was just like, "Hey, how do I get to my
Yeah,
house?"
that's
I think
happens in Pride. Yeah.
well, I was lost, right? And so I went up to someone, and I was like, "Hey, can you tell me where this place is?" And he's like, "Are you staying in a hostel?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." It's like, "You want to just come to my place instead?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Your hostel's that way," and he pointed, and I was like, "Okay," and I was just like walking away.
Yeah, Pride is a bit intense. People do have a tendency to take their clothes off. Rob would love it.
Probably.
Yeah, so it's good. I think was that everybody's vacations?
I think so.
All right. Next up was, what is the next place on your travel bucket list and why? Don't all jump at once, will you?
I mean, the only two places that I really want to go are Ireland and Australia. So
Fair enough. Yeah, nice places to go. I can understand that one. I would love to go. Where would I like to go? I mean, I'm going to New York in May. I think that's a pretty bucket list thing. I've been to America before, so that's pretty exciting. I would love to go to Iceland if I could go anywhere. I haven't got that planned, but I would love to. Like, if I go anywhere in the world, Iceland would be perfect, I think, for me. James?
My dream trip would be going to Japan.
Okay, interesting. Anthony?
Bucket list. Probably Spain or Amsterdam.
Okay. I think I just want to go to places that have more like exciting culture and stuff, like, different things. I want to listen to different languages, experience different stuff, things like that. So,
So you chose New York?
well, I've never been to America, have I? Before?
I thought you
So-
came. Yes, you did. You came for something, didn't you?
No, I ended
No.
up not going to
Oh.
various different and complicated matters that led to me
Gotcha.
not going. But I'm going to New York in May, and then I am having surgery in June. And then once I'm recovered from surgery, I'm supposed to plan to go and visit these morons. So there's that to look forward to, I guess, if you would call it looking forward.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I'm going to Madrid in September.
You're lucky.
Because I want to use my Spanish. In my country, there
Unless
isn't
you
places
get
like
a
in
job
California.
that throws a wrench into all of these plans.
Yes, maybe. But there isn't, like in my country, there isn't really place, at least not in the north where I live, like in California and stuff, where you could go to a restaurant and speak Spanish if you wanted to, like order, like go to certain Starbucks in certain areas and the people are probably able to speak Spanish, so you can speak in Spanish to them. So practicing Spanish where I live is very difficult. So I want to go to Spain for that reason.
Nice.
One of the questions on here is, are you into podcasts or do you only listen to music? I guess we could skip that one. So the next one is, what are your hobbies, main ones, not all of them, and how did you get into them? If anyone has anything they would like to share, please do.
I
Jump all at
kind of
once.
said earlier that I don't really have a lot of hobbies. So I guess just
You like riding
reading,
bikes?
reading, and I guess riding my bike. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob, what is your favorite hobby then? Pick like your favorite one.
It would probably be D&D. But yeah, I like D&D. I've always wanted to play ever since I was a teenager, and I bought I have a bunch of the old original, or I think they're all second edition modules. But none of my friends wanted to play, so I used to just read them, and not actually play. And then there were some older kids that played that I listened in on a couple of their sessions, I was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
That's even more sad. You just sat listening to the big kids doing it or whatever.
Yeah. But then they came out with some board games that were D&D like, which my friends did play, like Dragon Strike and Hero Quest and stuff like that. But then when I got older, I started listening to, after I was married, I started listening to podcasts about D&D, and then I met a bunch of people online that played, and then that's actually how I met all of these jokers, was through that. So it's my favorite hobby, and it led to finding a bunch of my bestest friends. So.
What do you mean two of?
I said some of. I didn't say two.
I said two of. I was like, what do you mean two of? Who are the two then? I was like, excuse you. That's nice though. I'm glad that you managed to get to where you wanted to be in the end. James, favorite hobby?
Video games or reading.
So wait, hang on. You said it like it was a question, so I was like trying to think of an answer. I don't know why my head did that. My head automatically
one
went,
of the two.
for you.
The answer is reading.
My favorite hobby is I would have said video games a while ago because of my job. It's ruined my enjoyment of all video games. So I never really get to play any games that I really enjoy. The only ones I ever play are ones for my job now, so I don't really, So I think my biggest hobby is probably just going out and driving my car. I just like to drive places, like for no reason. My favorite thing to do is literally just get in my car, have no destination, and just drive and take turns and see what happens and where I end up. Probably doesn't sound very safe, really.
That's like my worst. That's like my worst fear. I hate driving, and I especially hate going places I don't know.
Well, I live really rural, so it's really easy to drive around without like major traffic or anything. And like I wouldn't just randomly do that in the city. That'd stress me out.
Oh, that's
But
right.
do
I
it, like,
forgot.
you know,
Yeah.
and then I just see where I end up, and I just GPS back home again when I'm bored. So, yeah. Next question is, what was the last thing you read?
I'm gonna
James.
pull up my Kindle.
The last thing I read was the Heartstopper series.
My answer is exactly the same.
You actually read it, Rob, and not just watched it?
Yeah, that after I watched it, I got the books so I could read them.
Very impressive. I don't read.
I still need to get a
that's such a
copy
lie.
of Nick and Charlie.
I lie so much. I do like to read.
I mean, I
actually
have
do.
it if you want to read mine.
Yes.
I actually do like to read. The problem for me is that I don't really get much time to read. And so if I don't have a reason to, I won't do it. So actually, funnily enough, for anyone who doesn't know, if Judy's listening to this, I feel like I'm going to feel embarrassed. Don't listen, Judy. Could be rude. I actually have been reading to Webby. Every night when we get in bed, I read. Like
You really need to
chapter
choose
2.
your words more carefully sometimes. B.
Okay, listen. We both get into our own individual beds.
This is the second time.
We both get into our own individual beds, and
Oh, so you have like a little Lucy and Ricky Ricardo situation going on then.
yeah. And then I read a chapter also of the book to him, and I've ended up enjoying reading to him so much. Sometimes I want to stay up and read even more of it. Funnily enough, though, what I've been reading recently isn't the most positive thing in the world because I've been reading Anne Frank's diary, but I am really enjoying reading it. And I bought the diary in Amsterdam while I was there in the Anne Frank house because I went to visit, and I also bought the diary in Spanish too, so I can practice in Spanish, which I'm not reading it in Spanish to him for obvious reasons. But yeah, I read to him like almost every night when we go to bed. Which I like because he pretends he's interested in what I'm interested in. He's very sweet. So Anthony, what was you? So my last book was Anne Frank's diary. That's what I'm reading at the moment.
I typically read web novels. I think the last one I read it's called All the Skills, a deck building lit RPG book. Then probably before that, Zerinth Healer or Primal Hunter. I don't know, just fantasy books I can like James said, escape into.
Right, cool. I like that. Okay, so then next up, the question is, we move down. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Curry. That is my favorite food. Curry with rice.
Rob?
Hamburger Helper.
Yeah, God.
Oh, that's actually. Oh God, I could eat
Webby
that.
would be
I
so
haven't had that in
annoyed.
years.
James?
Pasta.
I
Lots
think
and
my
lots
favorite-
of pasta.
I just like sandwiches. Or I like
14-inch
wraps.
sandwiches.
Oh yeah, you know it. Yeah, I'd eat sandwiches.
What's your like perfect ideal sandwich?
I thought you were going to take that somewhere very different then. Since we were talking about inches, I really thought that was going somewhere else.
My mind is not that dirty, to be honest.
My perfect fillet. So sandwiches, from what the Americans that I know, we fill sandwiches in the UK with much different things to you. At least where I live and where I'm from, because I don't know anybody who wants to put all that crappy, disgusting like deli meat that you put in your sandwiches in our sandwiches, like bologna and all that crap and salami and stuff. Ugh. Like and some of you put ham and cheese in your sandwiches at the same time, which is
Yeah.
very odd and
Yeah,
disgusting.
I'm actually getting a little irritated now.
Ham
What do
and
you
Ham
put
and
in
cheese
sandwich?
are great together.
What do you
Ham-
what do you put in sandwiches in?
Ham and cheese toasties are nice, or what you would call a grilled like ham and cheese, whatever. Grilled cheese with ham, I guess you'd call it. We
Mhm.
call it toasties. They're nice. My go-to would be like tuna, cucumber, lettuce, and salad cream. So I don't because mayos are alright, but I prefer salad cream because I'm British and it's nice. Or I would have ham, cucumber, lettuce, but not the ham that you call ham. It's not the same. Like sandwich ham. I don't know how to describe it. Like it comes in a packet of slices of ham that you put in the fridge. You know,
Yeah,
like not-
that's what
That's-
that's the
yeah,
type
that's
of ham
deli
we
ham.
use for sandwiches.
that's the
Yeah.
only meat. That's the only deli meat that I would put in my sandwich. The no bologna or salami or all that crap, and I would never put
No
cheese. in
What's
it.
wrong with,
turkey?
I
what's
do
wrong with
too.
salami?
No,
Salami's
just-
good.
I hate
Turkey's
turkey
good.
slices. No, it's disgusting. I like
I
turkey.
wouldn't put salami, bologna. I'd only put it in if it's a fried bologna sandwich.
I like turkey like on my dinner, like a turkey dinner, like if we're having a Sunday dinner in the UK, like where we have like turkey and Yorkshire puddings and vegetables and gravy. But I wouldn't have it in a sandwich. Ugh. I
Yeah,
do
but
like
sliced Cajun turkey is so good.
one of the only things that I can come to an agreement on is I don't mind turkey and stuffing, where it has like bits of stuffing in strips down the turkey. That's nice.
Ew.
in sandwiches.
What?
That's very nice.
I've never
Yeah,
heard of that.
I will get you a picture of it. You could get like basically the. Hang on, I'll show you it.
It
The one
just
my
sounds
mum normally
disgusting.
buys. My
Turkey with
mum
Hmm.
normally buys the one where it has a little bit in the middle, and it's literally you buy it like this. I'll send a picture. This is chicken and stuffing, but we get turkey and stuffing sometimes. But if you look at the general chat, that's what it looks like. It's literally slices of chicken or turkey, and it has a little bit of stuffing in the middle.
Ew.
that looks weird, but
It's
Yeah,
you
really
know what?
nice.
No. Ugh.
People who put tomatoes in there or anything other than lettuce and cucumber, weirdos. I'd only have onion in it if it was going to be a cheese and onion sandwich. Like that's nice, but like no way would I put onion in it otherwise. And that's it, really. I
Cheese
wouldn't-
and onion? Just
Yeah.
cheese and onion?
and salad cream.
No meat?
No. Cheese sandwiches are fine on their own, and then meat sandwiches are a totally separate thing. I would not be putting. Do you know what? I got a panini the other day from a place that I don't normally go to, and they put cheese in their tuna paninis, like in a tuna melt. I don't know what you guys would call this.
They call it a
panini.
tuna melt.
Right. So in like a tuna melt, then in a panini, they put tuna and cheese in it, not just tuna. And I said that to Webby, and he said that's normal. You normally put tuna and cheese in it, and I was like, that's just absolutely disgusting.
I
so
wouldn't say
gross.
well, it's normal, but it's normally a completely different thing as opposed to just a tuna sandwich.
Well, I asked for a tuna melt panini, and they gave me it, and it had cheese in it, and it was gross. And I'm dairy
Well,
intolerant.
You
No,
know
that-
what else
you-
is absolutely disgusting? Your
Your mom?
crisps.
What? Well,
I mean,
no. Okay.
probably
okay,
she's
they
dead,
all-
so
I'm okay with crisps.
They all hate the prawn cocktail crisps. I sent them prawn cocktail crisps for
Ugh.
Christmas, and Webby loved them, and then the rest of them hated them. You only had the Pringles, to be fair. You haven't had Walkers, but they are gorgeous. They are absolutely beautiful. I could eat them all day. You've got problems, all of you. You seriously.
No, well, see, I'm okay with that mainly because there's like Asian chips. There are shrimp chips, so I would assume they would
Ugh.
taste similar to
No,
prawn
no,
chips.
do not taste the same at all.
What do
I
prawn
have-
chips taste like?
Prawn cocktail, because
it
prawn
tastes
chips,
kind of like
as in
cocktail sauce.
prawn chips, as in just prawn flavored things, are usually like prawn crackers and stuff like that, and they taste
Yeah.
like prawn, and
Yeah, I
they're
like
not
those.
nice. But
I like
prawn
shrimp chips.
cocktail is its own flavor entirely. It's an artificial flavor. I don't like prawns or shrimp or any seafood,
Ah,
but I love prawn cocktail crisps. See, it doesn't taste the same as like actual prawns. It's kind of like the prawn, like seafood sauce, I guess, that you'd put on like a salad. It but a bit spicier, and it's really nice. I love it. I could eat them all day. I'm hungry now. They're amazing.
The English muffins she sent were really good, though.
Yep.
Or as they call them, what is it, scones?
Crumpets.
Crumpets.
I like crumpets. Yeah,
Same thing.
I went there when I went there. I went to just a grocery store. They're nice. They remind me more like really thick pancakes, to be honest.
I think you're an idiot, but that's fine.
Yeah, they remind me nothing of pancakes. They're
What?
basically English muffins.
They're not, because English muffins are a totally different thing, but that's fine. I love crumpets. Now I want a crumpet. I could have a crumpet too. That'd be nice. Any hoodling. Shall we move on? I think did everybody answer that last question?
What the last question was, but yes,
Darude
probably.
Sandstorm. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yes, James says pasta. I can't remember what
Oh,
Rob's
that
was.
one.
Oh yeah, James pasta. I said, what did I say? I said sandwiches. And you got
Sandwiches.
Okay, so fine. Yeah. So what would you put in a sandwich then?
I'm not picky. I'm good with whatever.
What's your go-to? What would like if you got it right now and you went and made a sandwich? What would it be?
If I'm at home, I usually only have like the basics, so either ham, cheese, or turkey cheese, mayo.
Can I
maybe
actually? I have a
some lettuce.
question for you. Why do you Americans put mustard in your sandwiches and stuff?
I don't, because I'm
I
not a
don't.
big mustard
I
person.
hate mustard.
Like, because that's disgusting. Have you guys tried French mustard before?
Yes,
Yep.
I love
Wait,
French
Dijon?
mustard.
Yeah,
It's like
actually, yeah.
dark, like
I don't-
brown, isn't
I've
it?
tried both of them. I don't like either.
I
Just to
don't like.
clarify to you,
I
it's
don't like
dark
mustard,
brown.
but I'm okay. I'm slightly more okay with like a Dijon or a spicy mustard, mainly because that yellow mustard is just too tangy.
Yeah.
I don't
So
get it.
we
I don't like
call
it.
that American mustard.
Really?
And
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not
and-
good. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, you know the French mustard's the brown one, right? That's quite tangy. Like that's the same for you guys.
I'm
I don't
thinking
like
of,
either
I'm thinking
one.
of Dijon. Dijon,
in the
any spicy
UK
mustard is good.
Yes.
We
spicy
actually
brown
use French mustard in the UK for Sunday dinners. So like with like on your vegetables, like potato with a gravy and stuff. Like we'll put it on there, and it's very nice. I like it in that. I do not like American mustard, like the yellow crap that you have. It's absolutely disgusting. I see people put it on hot dogs, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? It's vile." I just put tomato ketchup on them.
I don't like ketchup on anything
put
other
ketchup
than
on-
fries.
Oh, well, then don't ask B what she puts on her pizza.
It's normal here. We all do it. He's been to the UK. He probably knows.
My cousin is worse. He puts ketchup on white rice, so
Yeah, and that's nice.
yeah. Devin made a point on the SU podcast one time, and I couldn't agree more. When you put ketchup on something, it just makes that thing taste like ketchup and nothing else. And I completely agree. I only like it on fries. Everything else,
I don't
would
think it
rather
totally
not.
changes the taste, but I do think that everybody should eat food how they like enjoy it. James,
True.
and so if having ketchup on it makes it nicer to you, then that's great. There are foods that like put it this way. If I was hungry and because I hate cooking, I'm quite happy to pour out some like pasta shapes or something into a pan, boil the pasta, and then literally just put tomato ketchup on it and stir it all together and just eat pasta with tomato ketchup on it. That's quite happy with that. Don't need anything else.
Yeah. No, I would not. But I mean,
would
like you
not
said,
do that.
if you like it, I would put butter
Yeah.
on it instead if I didn't have tomato
Yeah.
sauce.
Ugh. Okay, so here's a fun fact for anyone who doesn't know about me. I don't like butter. So I don't add butter in my sandwiches. I don't put butter on like toast or anything like that. I don't mind margarine for like toast instead. Or I used to like cheese spread, but I can't have that anymore because I'm dairy intolerant. So I sometimes will put up with butter on a crumpet or toast if I absolutely have to and they don't have margarine. But I hate butter. I never have it in a sandwich because I feel, in my opinion, that when you have butter in a sandwich, all you can taste is the butter. I think it's so overpowering, the taste of butter and everything that you eat it in. And I hate butter so much. There's just something about the taste of it that I just find so overpowering in everything you eat it in. And so everywhere I go, I ask them to not put butter in it. I ask them not to put butter on my sandwiches. If I make my own, I don't put butter in them. When I go to like family get-togethers, there's always a separate plate of the little finger sandwiches that don't have butter on them because I cannot stand it. It's disgusting. So I could not eat pasta with butter on it because I can't eat anything where you can actually physically taste the butter separately to everything else.
Well, I don't put butter on. Well, the only sandwiches I put butter on is when I'm doing grilled cheese because you're supposed to butter the outside.
This might be a strange American British thing. Hang on a minute. Do you not all butter your sandwiches?
No.
No.
Nope, not really.
Okay, wow, I didn't know that. In the UK, it's normal practice that you get out your bread, you butter both slices, then you put your meat in, and then you like whatever else you're putting in it, salad, then put your sauce in or whatever, and then you eat it.
We tend to
Like,
use
everybody
mayonnaise
butters.
instead, not butter.
Yeah.
Ew.
I think the only time we use butter is if you're, like Rob said, toasting it.
Yeah, everybody puts butter on their sandwiches. I am regularly like people look at me like I'm a freak when I say I don't want butter on my sandwiches. It's very, very normal practice here. Like so much so that if you don't do it, people think you're weird. So that's something I'd like in America much more. Because
Well, no, because we put mayonnaise in it, and you just said ew to it. So
yeah, but if you're gonna have a different sauce in it, surely they're not gonna put mayonnaise in it as well.
depends
you
on
pick
the
what
sandwich.
you want in it.
Yeah, you don't
Typically,
have to get mayonnaise.
So just to
You-
be
Yeah, they
clear,
typically would
I
tell
do
you.
like mayonnaise. The reason I wouldn't have mayonnaise in it is because I put salad cream in all my sandwiches.
Okay, hold up. You mentioned that a couple of times. What is salad cream?
Okay. I've been asked this question many times.
Let me just look it up. I don't want to stall the conversation. I'll just look up what sour
Well, I
cream
mean,
is.
all
Just kidding.
Americans.
Yeah,
ask
our
the
audience
question.
isn't going to know either. She might as well answer.
So I might as well answer. So the salad cream is a creamy pale yellow condiment based on an emulsion of about 20 to 50% oil in water, emulsified by an egg yolk and acidulated by spirit vinegar. I don't know how to describe.
That's basically mayo. Mayo
It's not,
has
though. It tastes
oil,
nothing like
eggs,
mayo.
and lemon juice or vinegar.
It doesn't taste anything like mayo. In
Okay.
the UK, it's used on jacket potatoes, or what you call baked potatoes. Like people put it on their beans on toast. People put it on pizza. People put it on like the sandwiches, the chips, the fries, like whatever. You can have it on anything. Chip butty, which is a sandwich with fries in the middle. People put it on that. I don't know how to. I'm trying to find where it is because there is somebody listed how to explain it to Americans, and I'm trying to find it for you because. Okay, so it says there isn't an equivalent in America. The closest possible thing you could imagine will be Miracle Whip, but it tastes nothing like it.
Yeah, Miracle Whip is basically
It says-
mayo.
It says Miracle Whip is a replacement for mayonnaise, but unlike salad cream, it was invented when there was no need for it. It actually starts with the basic ingredients of mayo, eggs, oil, etc., and includes spices like paprika, garlic, and mustard powder along with starch. This is not helping at all. I don't know how to like describe to people what salad cream is. Like I don't know how to. It's thickened with cornstarch, and it's much more vinegary, and it's got like a little bit of a tang to it. It's really, really nice. But like I've tried.
It sounds
to
like
explain-
a thick French dressing, is what
I
it
mean,
sounds
this
like.
person here, who's American, who's been to the UK, said, "Imagine a cross between mayonnaise and semen." So,
Ugh.
So it's salty.
this person said it pours like tomato sauce. It's yellow in color and tastes like mayo, but with vinegar added. I don't know how to. It's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's really nice. I love it. It's really nice.
You'll have to
I'm
bring some
gonna.
with you. When
I
you
will.
come.
I will. If I ever live in America, which, based on like potential future things that are happening in my life at the moment, it could be a realistic reality one day. I will be buying salad cream, and it will be in my house all the time. So if for whatever reason my life goes the way that I feel like a certain person is railroading me towards, I'm probably going to end up living with you. And therefore, there will always be salad cream in the house because I can't stand not having it. Like, I'll need to have it. There are things that will always be in my house if I live in America because I'll have to order them online and pay extra for them. But they will always be there. So you'll always be able to try them. And those things will be crumpets, prawn cocktail crisps, cheese and onion crisps, and salad cream. They will always be those things. And gingerbread because I love gingerbread. But all of those will be in my house all the time.
But
So-
yeah, like I said, our sandwiches, no, we don't put butter on anything really, except unless you're frying it. But like for like certain sandwiches, like if you asked for a sandwich by name, like a Reuben, they would put whatever is normally on a Reuben. But like if you're just like if you went and asked for your cheese and onion sandwich somewhere, they would put cheese and onion, and unless you ask specifically for like mayonnaise or butter, they wouldn't put anything else on it unless you specifically say. So you don't have to be like no butter, no mayonnaise. It's like if you don't ask for it, they won't put it on there. They'd be like cheese, onion, and if you were like salad cream, they'd be like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, lady.
They probably think
man.
she was talking about sour cream.
Sour cream, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking the
They're
same
just gonna slap
Well,
sour
yeah,
cream on it.
because when you first said salad cream, I thought you said sour cream. I'm like, that's odd, but it might be a British thing. And then you said it again. I'm like, wait a minute. I think she said salad cream, and I'm confused.
No, yeah, I said salad cream. It's really good. I'll have to like figure out a way for you to get some sometime because it's really nice. You're gonna have to try it. It's great. I don't have to describe it other than the fact that it's just wonderful. And you gotta try it.
Yeah, you said that about the prawn chips, and they made me vomit. So
It's not my fault that you're a pathetic child. It's not my fault.
whatever,
You can't
eat
have
celery.
The chocolate was
bitch.
really good though.
Listen, bitch.
Okay, any
Yeah, I like the
non-American
chocolate candies.
chocolate
They're
that comes not from the U.S. is always going to be better than ours.
Wait, you don't like US chocolate?
U.S. chocolate is more sugar than actual chocolate. If I
I
remember
don't like
correctly.
most things that come from the US, to be completely honest. Because usually
Yeah,
that's
I don't.
Like the
I don't.
people.
I don't blame you.
like us.
I don't blame you.
I think one of the only candy bars I
Yeah,
actually like
you.
is the Hershey's Cookies and Cream candy bar.
Okay, those are amazing frozen. Have you ever froze them?
No.
It's just amazing because well, one, I don't like it when chocolate melts too quickly, so I freeze them, and it's just
Yeah,
the problem I have with those is that okay, one, I tend to overeat, so if there's too much of those, I just always get sick after
Mood.
a little bit. But they're delicious. I can't eat more than like
yeah.
a few though, but they're delicious.
I tend to overeat. Yeah, I feel that.
I have two modes. Either I starve myself or I overeat. I have no moderation.
I am literally like this exact same. It's like
Yeah.
scary. I am really bad.
So whenever I'm trying to like lose weight, I just make sure not to have food in the house because then if there's no food in the house, I can go days and days without eating. But the moment you put food in the house, I'm like, well, I guess I got to eat that now.
Dear. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't like chocolate, period. So I don't like any of the like. I mean, I'll eat plain chocolate like M&Ms or Hershey Kisses, but I like white chocolate way better, which isn't actually really chocolate. But anything chocolate flavored, I'm just
I
like
love white chocolate.
chocolate ice
is
cream,
not-
chocolate cake, chocolate pudding. Ugh, gross, all of it.
White chocolate is lovely. I love white chocolate.
I like white chocolate.
Okay, so then the next question is, what is one thing that can instantly make your day brighter? I know Rob's answer.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, I know, and that's very sweet. So Anthony, what's one thing that can instantly make your day brighter?
I honestly am trying to think of something. Skip me for now. Give me a moment.
Okay.
I mean, I'll answer it. Talking to Donnie. He's not going to listen to this anyways.
Be awkward
Wait,
if it
I'm sorry. Are you joking or is that serious?
No, I'm
'Cause you were
serious.
laughing earlier. Oh, cool. All right. I'm gonna go back to thinking.
Wait, what did James
Mine
say?
is the same as Rob's, talking to friends.
I thought you were gonna say talking to Donnie. I was gonna say careful. I was gonna bite your hand off. He'll come in there in a minute and beat you up. It's like, all right, what did you just say, bitch?
Excuse me? No.
I would say that probably talking to Webby, but I talk to Webby all the time, every single day. So anytime that I'm not here with anyone else, I'm talking to Webby, literally all the time. And when I work, I talk to him too. I mean, Rob knows I'm always there. Like Rob will get up in the afternoon. I won't say in the morning because that'd be a lie. Rob will get up and like Webby will say morning, and then he'll be like, B says morning. Because I immediately go, morning, Rob. I through the headphones.
I mean, in Rob's defense, he was up at 10 something today.
I was.
And then he went back to bed.
I did.
Why'd you get up at 10?
I had to pee.
Well, that'll do it. That's more like a you problem, really, unfortunately, isn't it?
Yeah, but then if I get up, I have to let the dog out because she's like, I need to go out. I need to go out as soon as I get up.
And
so then I had to wait for her to come back in before I could go back to bed.
B, what time did I wake up? I had to scroll through our messages. 6:06 a.m.
Jesus. I was up till like 4:30 with Donnie, so you went almost. I went to bed around when you got up.
Okay, so wait, did Anthony say what his was?
I can't really think anything. I'm a pretty depressed person, but let's just go with cute animal pictures. Then let's just go with that.
All right. How far in are we? What questions do I need to ask?
I think we might be over time. Let me check. I wasn't paying attention because we were just talking. We started at 7:30. It's now. No, we got like 5 more minutes.
All right, let's ask a couple more then. All right, do you believe in astrology, as in like zodiac stuff like that?
No.
No.
Why?
No.
And it also says, and why not?
Because it's dumb.
It's very generalized to be able to fit whatever you feel like it fits, basically. So it's just, I don't know.
I just don't see the logic. Like, there's no. I can't follow the thought process as to why certain signs in the sky would, affect certain people and whatnot. So.
Like, it's like all Geminis act like this. No, they don't. My ex-wife was a Gemini and she acted like this.
Right.
Yeah, like Webby and my ex-wife are both Virgos and they act very differently.
I'm a Virgo.
I like to think sometimes it's nice to have something to believe in, but I also realize that and recognize that it's like when you listen to like your horoscope or whatever, it so widely and vaguely describes like your day or whatever, so that it ends up fitting perfectly somehow in some kind of interpretation. Do you know what I mean? But I do have a friend who like really believes in all that shit and like really is like super into it, and she is fucking weird. But yeah, I think I mean I don't really have an opinion, yes or no. Wait, I just realized. Wait,
Fun-
sorry, go
I was gonna say, fun fact: Webby and my ex-wife have the exact same birthday.
on. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Webby's your ex-wife.
Yep.
I just realized, right? Webby asked his mom recently about her opinion of me, which was she doesn't know me yet, obviously, very well, but based on what he's told her and experiencing me in their shoes and stuff, which he doesn't invite me to enough, Judy. You should talk to him about that. Anyways, she gave me a very positive review, made me feel very good, and I just realized I literally spent this whole podcast just swearing and like being very inappropriate. So she's probably going to think, "Ew, what a
Heavens
disgrace!"
to Betsy.
Heavens
Wait,
to Betsy.
Wait, does Webby's mom listen to the podcast?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she listens to all of
Oh,
them.
that's cool.
Wait,
That's
so there's
nice of her.
definitely no doubt that she's gonna listen to this one.
Yeah.
Shit. By the way, I think she has a wonder. I think this is true. I'm not just saying this to kiss her ass. I think she has such a really lovely accent when you listen to her talk.
Mhm.
She just sounds very nice. Most of my interaction with Judy so far, I've never spoken to her personally. She yelled "Hi B" in the background, and I like yell it back. But like most of my interaction, or at least of knowing of her, is hearing her go "Hi new guy, still on the couch." Every time
How
she
does
comes into the
that?
house.
I'm curious, James. How does that make you feel?
I mean that I could move my computer to the kitchen table.
You will get microwave more often.
Well,
don't
no.
know.
I meant just being called new guy.
It don't bother me.
I mean, it's probably better than the things the rest of us call him,
Probably.
especially behind his back. Anyway, we're gonna have to get James a camper. He's got to live outside in a camper on the outside of the house, so that Judy stops complaining about him sitting on the couch all day. I literally was talking to Webby the other day, and I just envisioned, I could just imagine my future. I'd be living with Webby, and we'd have to have 2 extra rooms, one for Rob and one for James.
I mean, you and Connor can switch places.
Me?
No, not you, James and Connor.
I'd be
Uh,
fine with that.
Then you won't
Can
be on
you
the couch.
imagine how cool it would be to have your own camper?
Yeah.
Granted, I'd want a
you know,
motorhome. That way I could just drive all over the country.
I don't
see
think I'd hate
everything.
it. I agree with you. If I lived in a motorhome, I don't think I'd hate that. Like, I would drive around in it, go around the country. Like, I always thought it'd be really cool to be traveling and never settle in one place.
Mhm.
Like
Like
live
I'm
van
obsessed
life.
with this family on YouTube called Trying Something New. They've lived in a motorhome for the past 7 years.
I
it
actually watch
just-
a ton of those van life YouTubers who convert like a big big van, like a Ford van.
Yeah,
or
I
Transit
couldn't
or
do
whatever, and
that
I'm
though.
living
I
it.
would get way too claustrophobic.
Yeah, I
being
wouldn't want to live in
that
something that
small of a
small.
space.
Have you seen like tiny house channels? Because I watch a lot of like there's a chat I think it's called Living Large or Living Big in a Tiny House, one or the other, and it's amazing. I love watching those videos. A lot of them don't move their house around, but they could if they wanted to, and like some of them are incredible. I'd have to show you guys some videos sometimes because like I am always blown away when I'm watching that stuff. But yeah, I could live in like a small space like that. I don't want a big house. I never wanted a big house or like a big thing. The only thing I would want to have is future proofing for if I ever had children, because I do obviously want to have children. So my future house is probably going to need like 4 or 5 bedrooms because I'm going to need a bedroom for James and a bedroom for Rob, based on how my future's going so far. And then a space for my children. And my children are going to have uncles that live with them, aren't they?
Yeah, it's like the Full House family.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate it though. I'd love that. I'm used to being around loads of people all the time. My family all live in like one house all together
We
all the
could
time. So,
grow
like,
our own vegetables out in a little garden.
I would not trust you to grow vegetables. But yeah.
How would
What?
you not trust me to grow vegetables? I'm the only one out of us that used to be a professional cook.
I feel like you'd piss on them to fertilize.
Dude, no.
Or like use your
What?
own
That's
poo.
not how you fertilize plants. That's
Exactly. So you'd have to be pretty fucking stupid to do it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you got to use manure.
You got to shit on them.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll come out. I'll come in from the
makes
garden,
sense.
and Rob will be like, "B, what's wrong?" And I'll be like, "Nothing." James is just popping a squat again. He's squatting over the fucking.
You mean
working on the carrots.
James is tending to his garden?
Yeah, he's on his carrots again. And Rob will be like, "You mean he's tending to his carrots?" I'm like, "No, he's on his carrots."
Yeah, no.
Let me see. Oh my god, there's a question on here. Have you ever lost a friend? If so, what happened? Let's move swiftly off on that one. What kind of question is that? What is the scariest thing you've ever done, and why did you do it? Perfect. You see what I have to deal with, Judy?
I'm thinking.
We went to complete stranger's house after drinking all night. That was probably I usually avoid scary things, but yeah, it ended well enough, but that was in hindsight, that was a really stupid thing to do.
Right, Rob?
Rob's in the bathroom.
That's the scariest thing you ever did. Wow.
All that talk about fertilizing.
James, the scariest thing you ever
Mine
did.
would either be going whitewater rafting or flying across the country to live with people I'd never met in person before.
Right.
Can you swim?
I sort of.
Oh, okay.
Like I can swim enough to not die.
I mean, that's good, I guess. So can dogs. Let's see what else. What was the scariest thing I've ever done? I would say probably flying alone as the easy option. If we want to go deeper than that, then I think the scariest thing I've ever done is probably opening up and letting someone in again. And that sounds really fucking sad, but
I was going to say flooring your Tesla.
I mean, that's fun. I enjoy doing that. Go 0 to 100 in like 4 or 5 seconds. Great. Anyways, no, I think genuinely it was really scary to like be open and like with like Webby because you know James why and Rob does.
Yep.
Anthony might as well actually, and so yeah, it was. I found that really frightening, but I'm glad I did it. So yeah.
Yep,
So
that's
what
why
about you, Rob?
I don't open up to people.
Mood.
The scariest thing I've ever done coming out was the scariest thing for me. Like I was terrified.
Oh shit! I forgot I did that. And I mean, I don't think mine would be as scary on the level that yours was because like I was very young still, and my family all knew there was something weird. So probably not quite as frightening as it was for you.
Yeah. Well, the first person I
never
had
actually came out.
What?
I'm sorry.
You just did now.
James, can you repeat that? I didn't hear what you said, James.
I said I never actually came out. I was just like, yeah, this is my boyfriend.
And he was
Okay.
40.
I mean, the first person that I had to tell was my wife. So
Yeah, I was gonna say Rob's is a little bit scarier than your first.
That would be pretty damn scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be really scary.
You could have just said your nether regions frighten me and make me want to puke.
I mean, they didn't. They just disinterested me.
They didn't frighten him. It was just like people who are not afraid of spiders, but they're not their favorite thing either. You know, they'd rather not touch one. And they don't hate them, but they don't want to touch it. You know.
We'll see. I hate spiders and I'm completely terrified of them.
I'm completely terrified of pussies. So here we are. I'll ask one last question because I like this one. And I think it's a really good one. We're going to promote some really deep conversation. Do you believe in second chances?
Ooh.
Rob.
I'm
just putting you on the spot so that it didn't take too long.
I mean, it kind of depends on what you did with the first chance. Like, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Like, what would you say would be a no?
Well, murder.
Well,
like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I could forgive somebody for cheating on me if they did. Like
I would never be able to forgive someone for cheating on me.
Yeah. But like, I don't know, if they stole something from me, I might be like, oh, all right, well, if you don't do it again. we can.
I think it's one of those questions, isn't it, where it always does depend on the severity. I'm a person that holds grudges a lot, so I don't find it easy to forgive people anyway. Once you've kind of fucked up with me, you've kind of fucked up with me, and that's it. Like, I find it really hard to forgive people. But I recognize that I make mistakes too, and I'm a human being. And there are sometimes situations where I would like a second chance too to fix it. So I think, there are some things like, if I ate your chocolate bar and didn't realize, or I ate your lunch by accident, probably get forgiven for that. But that would happen more than once. And if someone really hurts you there, or really does something that really affects your life, I think that's hard to want to give someone a second chance. Do
Yeah.
you feel that you forgive people who've wronged you, even if you can't forget about it, or do you think it's okay to live not forgiving someone?
I do live not forgetting people. I'm similar to you, Bree. I don't forgive and I don't forget that often.
No, because there's plenty of people whom I do not forgive for things they've done, but I wonder sometimes if that contributes to my mental health being bad.
It probably does, and I recognize that it's not a good thing to do, but I know myself enough that it is what it is. I'm not that forgiving.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily forgiveness, but I get over things really fast. Like, I don't stay angry for long. Like, I've always been that way, where like usually just sleeping on it for the most part, and I'm just like, it's fine. I don't know if that's necessarily forgiveness though. It's more like I'll just forget it ever happened kind of thing. But I mean, it might still bother me, but like usually I let go of the anger pretty quickly. But I might not forgive, I guess. I don't know. I was trying to think of something that someone's done that I have not forgiven them for, and I can't really think of anything yet.
I'm just not very forgiving in general, I think. Unfortunately.
Same. I'm a vindictive bitch.
Yeah.
I'm just petty.
I feel that too. That is also a mood. I'm also very petty. Well, then I guess, do you want me to ask any more, or are we over time? Are we good?
Yeah, we're over the hour mark, so
Should we insult Webby a bunch at the end? Because he probably won't
sure.
listen to it.
No, he'll probably listen
Booster
to it.
Gold is absolutely amazing, and I
We
love Booster
yes.
Gold.
Boy.
We love Booster Gold. Last night I said to him, and I'm kidding. This is you're not allowed to be inappropriate on here, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's no like limits to that.
Nope.
Okay.
Just
cool.
remember, his mom is listening.
Judy, turn off the podcast now.
Cover your ears.
This is the point where you stop listening. I said to him last night, imagine like we'd gone out for a fancy dinner and like a really nice restaurant, and then we'd come home, and then like the mood was going towards and I said, I love Booster Gold. I think he's great and wonderful and amazing, and I'm not sleeping with you unless you say it too. And I said to him, what would you do in that moment? And he went, I'll sleep on the couch.
I completely agree with that. I was
like, what if I like made sure that I was like looking the sexiest I could possibly look, like I was glowing, I looked amazing, like you just like irresistible to him, I guess. Not only fucker else would feel that way, but he would, I guess. What then? And he was like, he did that. He went like thought about it for a minute, and I was like, it'd be really difficult. And then he was like, no, I have to sleep on the couch. And I was like, right, well, fucking hell, Jesus. Really feel strongly about Booster Gold.
You should have been like, Webby, what if I cosplayed as Booster Gold and just walked into your house?
Well, let's put it this way. We can now confirm for any SU listeners that may want to know, Webby hates Booster Gold enough to decline sex. So, with someone who he really wants to have it with, to be clear. Hypothetically, of course. So therefore, he feels very strongly about this.
I mean, you gotta
Judy,
admire
I'm
the
sorry, you
commitment.
just heard that.
You gotta admire the commitment to it, though. I will say.
He's really committed to the brand identity. You have to admit. Yeah. I like it. I don't like it actually. It's quite annoying. No, good for him. Good for him. I guess probably.
All right. So Science Corner with Rob this week. I had a request. I wasn't on last week's show, so I didn't get to do it. But I had a request to talk about the time zone for the moon. So basically, time zones are a human construct, basically, so that people around the world would know, like, whether it was day or night to the people they were talking to on the other side of the world. So it only kind of like came into being when there was a lot of international stuff going on, because obviously in your own country, for the most part, it's not too divided. Although, you know, the United States is large enough to have 4 different time zones. So basically, it's like, okay, this is where the sun is in your part of the world at the time. It's not quite true, because some people do daylight savings time and some people don't. So stuff moves around, and there's some like weird jagged parts to the timelines. Like if you look at a map of the timelines, like in the Pacific Ocean, there's like huge like gouges where it goes like way out, because people are like, we're gonna go by this time, even though we'd actually be we should be several hours different, but people are weird like that. So there's not really a scientific, it's more like governments decided that this is going to be their time zone. So, but the reason that they want to do a lunar one is because obviously people are thinking about soon moving to the moon, to make a colony on the moon. So they wanted there to be a specific time zone, the lunar time zone, because the moon does not move like the Earth does. It is tidally locked, which means it always faces the same way. So there's always a sunny side and there's always a dark side, and they stay the same. So by declaring a specific time zone for the moon, you would be everybody, like, it helps with like computers and stuff like that, and people making phone calls. So because it would be daytime all the time, if you lived on the light side of the moon, you would need to like decide, okay, it's this hour, it's this hour, it's this hour, because the light never changes. Like the sun won't ever move. So that is why they want to set a lunar time zone.
That just escaped me completely. I was so confused. I literally didn't grasp any of what you just said. I'm not gonna lie. I just started imagining like a monkey inside my head just playing with rocks.
Well, all right. Well, do you want me to explain it more? Or...
That would probably confuse her even
I don't
more.
know if I'm gonna get it. You can try, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Like, all
It's
I
just
had
gonna be
was
monkeys playing with
lights
moon
and
rocks instead.
moons.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean, you know how you're annoyed because we have a 4-hour and 5-hour difference. Sometimes it's 4 hours, sometimes it's 5 hours.
yeah.
So they want to set just a single time for people to live on the moon. It would be a certain time zone. It's probably, I would assume, it's going to be GMT, because the moon doesn't rotate around like the Earth does. So if you're living on the light side of the moon, the sun would always be the same brightness. Like the day's never going to change. So they want to set like a specific time zone for the moon to be in, so that it's easier to like relate to people. But like, oh, it's 4 a.m, even though the sun is still out, kind of thing.
Right. Why do you think it'll be GMT?
Because that's, I don't know, just because that's the basic, like, that's where all the other time zones go off of, is the GMT. So
Yeah, most places call it UTC now, don't they? Like Universal, like, what is it? Universal Standard Time or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
And that Universal Standard like time is the same as GMT. So why did we need to name it UTC? Why couldn't we have just left it as GMT?
No idea.
Because they're exactly the same time.
Because it's not, they wanted to move it away from Greenwich, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's wholly because they were like, fuck the British. So, you know. Whatever.
It might just depend on whoever decides to settle it first. It'll probably be the same time zone as the majority of whatever country it is.
It says that GMT is the mean solar time at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London, and that's why it's the British time. So they made an identifier of UTC plus 0000 as the identifier for a time offset from UTC for each different time zone. So instead of using GMT plus 12 plus whatever, they say UTC plus 12, UTC minus 12. But obviously, lots of us who have just been talking about time zones for years just still say GMT, even though, you know, obviously it doesn't matter. But yeah, I guess it just had to be like, nah, the British can't have that level of excitement of knowing that they've got control over the main words for all of the whole world's time zones. Fuck that. And they took it off us. Fun fact, by the way, I live at the Greenwich Meridian,
Nice.
which I don't know what that means, but yay.
It
Does
means
anybody
you're
know
at
what
the
Greenwich
center
Meridian
of the perfect starting time zone. Does anybody have a life advice to give out? That's usually
Don't
what Devin does, but
eat with the same hand that you masturbate.
well, I mean that's good advice. Unless you like the taste.
Bacon naked.
Well, that also is good advice. I have been burned by bacon splatter, not
I think
naked.
you
That would be
forgot
worse.
that Webby's mom listens to this podcast again.
Don't feed your dog
Yeah,
hot dog
we talk
treats.
about this kind of stuff usually.
Don't feed your dog hot dog treats while naked.
Well,
You don't want them to get confused.
What's wrong with
but
you
no, we
guys?
do talk about stuff like that, Anthony. It's just if it
Come on,
specifically
Anthony, what's your
pertains to
life
Webby.
advice?
Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, my parents are closed off conservative, so I mean, traditional.
My
age, we
parents
don't
are
talk about
really
this stuff.
open, and they would laugh about and have this conversation with us if we let them. But I think the point is that this podcast discusses these type of things all the time. It's just the difference is this time that we're literally talking about having sex with the person's son who's listening. So like that's why it's probably a bit weird. Sorry, Judy. I could.
All right, well, let's end there.
Don't worry, Judy. I
please.
am
No,
abstinent.
you don't need to further explain anything. I think we were good with ending there.
I don't think she needs to worry. I live 9-hour flight away.
All right.
But there is the internet and video cameras.
B, where can we find you on the internet? Clearly on an OnlyFans.
Just go, Jesus. Just Google B, please. God.
James?
Go to Twitter and look for Glorious Coma. You can find my link tree in my bio.
And Anthony,
Right.
would you like? Do you have
No.
anything you want people to find you on? You
I
just
don't
don't want people to find you.
I don't want people to find me, so I'm good.
Don't look for Anthony.
And you can find me on Twitter at confessor_x and on Twitch at twitch.tv/confessorx. And Webby will have me flogged unless I make James do this. So because it's your first time on the podcast, James, you have to say it.
Love Booster Gold. We love Booster Gold. Say it.
No, you gotta say the other
Booster
thing.
Gold, show me your titties.
Well, I guess that's close enough.
Webby's gonna be so mad if you don't yell.
Oh wait, I was supposed to say fuck me, Booster Gold.
Closer. Yeah.
Oh, you want me to say fuck Booster Gold?
Yeah, that's
him,
the one.
not him. You.
Oh, guess who just walked out of the bedroom? He can say it really loud.
All we heard was Booster Gold. We'll leave it there.
All they heard was Booster Gold.
One day you should start your podcast. Like next time we talk about time zones, we'll do like start speaking
I'm
in
simply unprofessional. Simply unprofessional.
Bye, Judy, and anybody else who listens. Take it.